There we go.
Nice.
Good morning, everyone. It's your girls from Obscure Orations here. We're having technical fun as always, and this time with a guest to witness all of it beforehand. So, as usual, I'm Tay, she's Dana, and today with us we have a special guest, I'm going to say local author, as in local in the province of Ontario. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to make sure that I'm saying it right. It's Marina.
Yeah, Marina. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Never 100% confident with names because I'm like, I think I know how to say them. Then I say them and I hear someone else. I'm like, nope, that wasn't even close to what I had.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the effort because I get called Maria a lot. So Marina is very nice.
Just
Yeah.
trying, the N is silent for some people. They're like, oh, yes, this is Maria. And you're like,
No.
no.
Close, but oh yeah, just one more letter.
You're like, there's a couple letters that you're just missing in here.
Yeah.
So today you're going to be joining us and just talking about like, I saw again, I don't even remember which one of the posts it was that I saw the first time about your book, but there's just something about it that just caught my attention immediately. And I just loved the TikTok of whatever it was. And you were just like holding up your book. You were showing that it was, I think it was when it was first going into Indigo, I think.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So, and it was just, I don't know what it was. There's just something about it and about you that I was like, I messaged Dana immediately. I'm like, I think we should have her on the show.
Awesome. Well, I'm really glad that it caught your eye and
Continue talking. I have to go talk to my daughter, who is important.
We got this. It's okay.
yeah. Yeah, so it's cool that it caught your eye. Actually, I just did my first Indigo signing yesterday.
That's awesome.
So on Saturday, I had done a market the previous weekend, but
Hmm.
today was my first actual signing. So I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it went really well. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that I did it. And I'm hoping and planning to do quite a few more Indigo signings. So yeah.
that's freaking awesome. Like, so what does it feel like? Because I get the vibes that it's kind of obviously with being an indie author, it's kind of like small niche market.
Yeah.
Like little fish, gigantic pond. So, like, how does it feel getting to do book signings?
It's so strange in the best way possible. Because, I self-published. I'm an indie author, so it's not like I have this big marketing team behind me or
Yep.
anything like that. I'm just doing TikToks that I'm hoping reach people, and obviously, thankfully, it does reach some people. So, um, yeah, I just kind of am flying by the seat of my pants. I'm learning as I go, so I don't know what I'm doing. But it was really cool to sit at a table in an Indigo and say, "Oh, who should I make it out to?" Like that line. I was like, "Yes, I made it."
And
And
you're like, I've done it. This is it. I quit. I'm going back home now.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun. It was fun to also meet people in person and get to talk about like what their interests are in fantasy and how Eltaris might kind of be their thing or not,
Hmm.
which is also an interesting conversation to have because sometimes people see dragon and they think, oh, kids book, which I mean, yeah, there's lots of really awesome kids books with dragons in it,
Hmm.
but it's a little bit older. So they
You're
kind of
like,
go,
there are some
oh,
things.
okay, sorry, oopsies. Never mind.
I love that though. Like, you're right. So many people, when they see dragon related anything, which I guess to me, you can tell who watches a lot of fantasy stuff and who doesn't. Because when I hear dragon, my first thought nowadays is going straight to like the House of the Dragon, the HBO show, George R. Martin, like I think the adult versions of it. And then the little kid in me goes, "Oh right, but we also used to watch like the dragons in Disney movies where it's like, yeah, you had Mulan, you had Mushu, you was a tiny little dragon." I'm like, yeah, yeah, I guess I could probably see that with people sitting there being confused, going, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's a dragon." Yeah, yeah, that's for kids. And you're like,
As somebody with kids, there was a cartoon called Dragon Tales.
I
Both
yes,
my kids watched it.
love that cartoon.
I forgot about that until that's like one of
Yeah.
those core memories just opened up.
Yeah, so yeah, plus How to Train Your Dragon.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And Aragon, the series, if you ever,
Yes.
that
Yep.
was one of my favorites as a kid too.
So was that kind of like the stuff that you drew on to like that kind of inspired you into making this?
I mean, kind of to begin with, it was kind of like I really liked Aragon as a kid. Wouldn't it be cool to also have dragons in my book? But I ended up kind of falling down the biggest rabbit hole possible of like all these ancient mythologies. So there's a
Oh,
Norse dragon in there. There's more of an Arthurian kind of dragon in there. Earth dragon. There's all sorts. So
that's
I
awesome.
saw ones that were really cool and kind of went, I should probably focus on one. Wait, no, all of them, because why not?
It's your world, your book. You can make it all of them.
Exactly.
It's kind of the nice freedom
Exactly.
with it, where you're like, I can have every single dragon I possibly want in this. And it's kind of cool because, like you just said, you took from a bunch of different mythologies. And I don't think, hmm, I don't think a lot of people realize how many different cultures have different dragons going on.
Yeah.
Like, I know there are huge debates online that just make me sit there and go, oh, dear Lord, where people argue about that's not a dragon, that's a this or that's a this. I'm like, okay, but in this culture, where it comes from, this is a dragon for this culture, this is a dragon for this culture. So to have a book that's kind of pulling on all of them, and I would assume that when you're writing it, you kind of like you would detail them differently and how they would interact and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool in my mind.
Yeah, there's so each dragon is very unique because of that, because some cultures, like you just said, will call them more like serpents.
Yep.
That there are wingless dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Serpents. Actually, the Norse dragon is a wingless serpent kind of
Mm-hmm.
dragon. And because you can find that myth in so many cultures, there's so many cool ideas to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's ones with different kinds of, there's one with feathers instead of with scales,
That's cool. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
bird dragon kind of thing. But yeah, there are some cultures that have feathered dragons basically instead of like scaly
Mm-hmm.
Western kind of dragons and things like that. So yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So because I haven't gotten your book yet, and honestly, I think that's part of the reason why it caught my attention was because of like the cool cover art that you had for
Yeah.
it. And it's like, okay, I love the cover art. I love the colors. Um, that was kind of what caught my attention immediately. And then it was like, okay, then hearing things about dragons, I'm like, this is like right up my alley. You had
Handwritten.
yeah, it's like, oh, you get dragons in it. I'm like, I am sold. Take my money. It's fine. Um, I had a question that was going with it, but then I got too excited by the by
That's like,
talking about the book.
well, since you mentioned the cover art, here it
Yes.
is. Actually, the artist for this is an Italian artist that's worked for, I don't know if you know Critical Role and Apple.
Yes.
Oh,
She's worked for them. So I was very honored that she answered my basically like a cold call of an email and said, "That sounds cool. Sure." I'm like, okay. I was not expecting an answer, but this is amazing.
And you're like, I wasn't expecting an answer, and I wasn't expecting it to be a yes.
Yeah.
So that's like the amount of nerdiness inside of my head right now, where it's like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Because like Dana and I are big Dungeons and Dragons nerds. Like yesterday, our big day was we watched two of the Hobbit movies with my
Oh,
nephew
nice.
so that he could see them for the first time.
Okay.
So it's like those are the levels of nerdiness that we love. So the fact that you have Critical Role attached, you're like, that is just mind blowing. It's so cool all at the same time.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a binge watch of like the full Lord of the Rings from The Hobbit to the end of
Yes.
the original trilogy for the longest time, but it's so long, it's hard to do. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. 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 We love doing like, I mean, Dana does it more regularly than I do, but if I have like a weekend where I dedicate, I'm like, look, I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm gonna be busy. I'm going to be in Middle Earth for the next 2 days. Don't distract me. I'm watching the extended edition, so it's going to be everything.
Nice,
I
nice,
have nothing but time. I'm retired, so I have nothing but time.
nice.
So I cross stitch, and while I cross stitch, I watch movies.
Sounds like a very good retirement to me.
Working for me.
I was going to say when you're like, okay, maybe one day we'll actually see your book turned into a movie.
I
Just
will discount it. That would be really cool.
you're like that would be amazing putting that out into the universe now.
Throwing that out to the universe.
The CGI budget might be a little tricky, but
It's fine. You know what? They're making it more affordable now. It's just a few million. It's fine.
what's a few million in the bucket? It's fine.
You know what? They get it for Jurassic Park. It'll be fine. What's like 165 million budget?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about like the storyline of your book.
Yeah, for sure. So it is a female protagonist. She's 20. So it's that like kind of new adult area, which is not officially defined in the bookstores yet. So I kind of gear it more towards adult. Um, but yeah, she gets taken from Earth against her will, by a deity that is a mystery at that point. And she gets brought to a planet named Eltaris. So that's
Oh,
why the title of the book is Eltaris. And actually, this dragon here is one of the main characters later on in the book.
okay.
Um, I won't say too much about that because this. So,
You can
yeah.
see the wheels turning in your head where you're like, how much can
Spoilers.
I say about this?
Like, I probably shouldn't include spoilers because not everyone likes that. But yeah, so she gets taken off of Earth and brought to this planet named Altaris, and she needs to try and figure out a way to get off of that planet while dealing with a manipulative creature deity um, that
Yeah.
is no fun. He's the antagonist. And through trying to figure out a way back home, she finds out she has magic and things like
Ooh.
that. So there's portals, there's time travel, there is some pretty heavy magical surrealism elements. So I play around with dreams and nightmares and reality kind of bending, and you're not entirely sure if this is real or if it's a dream or something like that, or she's just losing it. Um,
That's fair.
And the magic in it isn't necessarily like wands magic. It's more of like an elemental
Ooh,
Okay.
wands kind of magic. Um, and yeah, you get to see Amaya as the main character. You get to see her progress from human to more than human by the end of it.
Oh, I like that.
So that's all I'll say without too many spoilers.
You're like,
that
I
sounds
think that covers it,
amazing.
Yeah.
right?
So you had a book signing yesterday.
Mhm.
How did that go?
Really well. It was my first Indigo signing, and it was my first like proper signing because I had just done a market the previous weekend. But markets and signings are a little bit different because when you go to a signing, you're kind of assuming to get books. At least
Hmm.
it's not the book that's being
True.
signed, a book in the rest of Indigo. Um, so it was really cool to just kind of sit down and chat with fantasy people. Like I am a fantasy nerd through and through. I have been since I was like teeny tiny. So it was cool to kind of nerd out with people about
Mm,
their various fantasy loves and things like that. And people were very receptive. They were very kind and they were engaging and had lots of questions. And I love questions, so I love chatting. Um, yeah, it was a good time. I was very
Excellent.
happy with how it turned out.
do you have another one already lined up or just like kind of in the air right now?
So in terms of this story, it is currently a standalone. I do wrap up Amaya's story. However, if there is enough interest, I would be willing to do basically like a prequel or two. There's
Oh,
a possibility
or
of
two.
some things.
I like that. I could do a prequel or two.
I
I'm
have
just
actually like at least three ideas. So yeah. I have no lack of ideas.
so do you want to like I'm assuming being this is so blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to assume that this is your first published book that you've done.
Yeah, so this is my debut. It came out about 3 months ago.
Okay. So do you want to continue in like the same kind of vein doing more fantasy books? Or do you want to kind of branch out? Like what kind of stuff are you looking for future wise with possible prequels? Just throwing that out there for people.
Yeah, so that's an awesome question. Right now I do have a project that I'm working on. I'm almost at the 10K mark for the manuscript. It is leaning a little bit more sci-fi dystopian with maybe like a little sprinkling of fantasy.
A little
A
sprinkling.
little sprinkling.
Just a little.
Yeah. Because like I said, I'm a huge nerd. So
Hmm.
and fantasy holds so many subgenres within it. So
Yes.
once I started to, I've been reading since, again, memory. So that means that I've kind of played around in different subgenres, and that has led to me reading in different genres as a whole. So I have a lot of influences from sci-fi and from dystopian books, especially like The Hunger Games, obviously.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so I really like those ideas. It's kind of like the one that I'm working on right now is a bit of like an end of the world kind of dystopia.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Humans are kind of a dying breed, and what
Oh,
does the earth look like, and what do humans look like, and like all that kind of stuff.
oh, I like the sounds of that too. Like, sure, people are probably like, why would you like that? I don't know. It just sounds good.
So
It sounds interesting and entertaining all at the same time.
that's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah.
So
And
can anybody go into a bookstore in Ontario to buy your book, or is it select places?
so it's global in terms of where you can find it. I have my website, and it's available on Indigo, Barnes and Nobles, Booktopia, um, all over the place. I do have Amazon ebooks,
Okay.
but the physical paperback is currently through third parties. So the pricing, if you want a proper pricing, I'd say go through Barnes and Nobles or Indigo. I also have direct sales. So yeah,
Okay.
my website is the best place to find all of them. Um, yeah, you can order through online retails at retail places. Yeah. That was a bit of a
Okay.
ramble, but yes, it's available everywhere.
Well, we'll make sure that we have your website posted so that if anybody wants to go to visit it, they can just click on the link and go.
Yeah, in terms of physical stores where it's available, it is mostly available through Indigo stores in Ottawa at the moment. So I've got a couple different locations here, and then there's one in Toronto as well. It's Indigo the Well. It's just downtown Toronto.
I say I think I've
Oh,
heard of that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Like,
there's a handful of copies there. But hey, if there's an Indigo or a bookshop that you are like it's your favorite bookshop and you'd like to see it there, feel free to recommend it or request it. And they should be able to get it through Ingram Spark, which is like a third-party print-on-demand company.
that's so
so
cool.
how hard was it to sit down and write a book? Like, what was your process from going from, wow, I think I'd like to write a book to being a published author?
Oh, that's a good one.
Um, so it took me about 4 years to write Eltaris.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's working on and off because I've had
Mm,
full-time jobs, part-time jobs, the whole spectrum. So I had the idea 2021. I was just kind of, it was a weird inspiration of like a nightmare slash dream thing that I had where this woman girl would like crawl through a hatch in her house, and then get transported elsewhere.
Hmm.
okay.
Um, and then I woke up and I remembered it, which I don't normally do. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I kind of went like, oh, I've always loved reading. I've always loved storytelling. I even studied film in high school. Um, and I've always loved writing my own little stories and poems and things like that. So why not give this a go since I can't stop thinking about it? And then all these other influences started kind of getting in there, and I started like stargazing, looking up at the Draco constellation,
Hmm.
henceforth the cover. And then deep diving in mythology because I'm like, well, let's see what else, like other kind of stories are global and that have stuck around. Because really, they're all just stories.
Hmm.
So trying to weave inspiration from those, and then it just kind of snowballed. Um, from there, I got stuck at the first third or so of the book for the longest time, and then about a year or so ago, I just kind of like went full throttle writing. Like that's my focus, with like a very light part-time job. Um, and then I just kind of because I had all these dragon ideas that I had a hard time weaving in. And
Hmm.
once I gave it my full attention, then I started to weave all these elements in, and that's how it kind of like took full form. Um, and a lot of the times when I'm writing in like full focus, everything else kind of drops away, and it's like a IMAX 3D smell-o-vision, like as
You're
I'm,
fully in it,
yeah, yeah. So it's a lot of fun for me.
That's awesome.
right?
I- I'm not, I have ideas, but I don't know how to put them in print.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, what I
Unlike Taylor's very good at putting stuff into print.
I attempt. I don't know if I'm really good at it per se.
are you writing something or?
I have like several projects that I'm working on. A couple of them, I do like a wide range of different things that kind of call to me for different times. And I'll have spurts where I'm like, yes, hardcore into it, typing or writing every day. And then work will get in the way where it's like, oh, hi, you need to pay attention to what you're doing. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's entirely understandable. That's the struggle trying to figure out when you can write. And what I found helped me when I was working full time is um, those random little ideas that you might get
Hmm.
in the middle of the day as you're working. Jot them down in your phone
Yep.
or like a notebook if you prefer that, and then add them to your main manuscript idea as like a separate page or a chapter or a
That's
file.
a good idea to do it that way.
Yeah, and then when you go and sit down, because you're like, okay, I finally have time to write, they're all in one place. So you can go, oh, right, I forgot about that idea. Let me, type it out or flesh it out and weave it into the rest of the manuscript and things like that.
I love that because that's like the writing it down in a notebook is what I do constantly. But then it's the trying to remember where I put things in the notebook. So
For sure.
Dana and I, like I said, we're big nerds, so we play Dungeons and Dragons once a month. There's a group of us that get together at her place and we make a whole thing of it.
Nice.
So I've never been a dungeon master before this. I've always been a player. So this was the first like nerve-wracking time. I'm like, okay, I got a pre-made module. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see what how this goes.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how it makes out.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you've ever experienced Dungeons and Dragons. I'm assuming you've at least watched it in some degree because of Critical Role.
I played it as a kid, so I'm a huge D&D nerd. I am like nerd full through and through.
Love it. Love every minute of this. So then you'll know that, you have players who not essentially like not ruin in a bad way, but they go off of the script that you necessarily had planned, and you're like, what the hell? Okay. Yeah, sure. Like, so these guys went and decided to go on a stealing spree in the very first session. Literally
Classic.
session one. And they're like, hey, I'm like, hey, do you guys want to have some role play? You guys can interact with each other's characters. You can go to sleep if you want. And they're like, is the bar busy downstairs? Like, I sure. Like, yeah, it's nighttime. That's a good bustling time for bars. Why? All of a sudden they all look at each other like, you wanna go steal some stuff? I'm like, what? I did what? Um crap. Okay. So they stole a whole bunch of stuff because the one guy is super really good at stealing. His dexterity is really high.
Nice.
So after so long, I'm like, okay, yeah, you steal something and it looks really precious and valuable. I ended up making it a cursed amulet
Ah, also classic.
where I was like, you know what? This is the repercussions. You're a thief. There's going to be repercussions for this.
Yeah.
So because of that, I've had to actually write an entire story arc for it, which I didn't know that I would be able to do when I first set out as being a DM. So I was kind of like, okay, trying to figure out things like off the cuff. I'm like, yeah, it's cursed. Well, what's it? Is it? I don't know. You just know it's cursed. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't have this planned. I have to think about this outside of this session. Crap. And
Well,
it's now,
keep going. Sorry.
oh, I was going to say, it's now grown into, it's a full story arc that they're currently on the mission for. And even within that, that same schmuck still managed last session because the other one led you all off the path of the beaten trail to go look at some treasure chest that I didn't put into anything. I'm like, what treasure chest are you talking about? Like, sure, yeah, you guys can go over there. Where? I don't see what you're talking about, but cool. Yeah, yeah, treasure chest, uh-huh. Sure. And then the one character would not stop asking questions about the dead guy in the boat. Even when I said he's been dead for 300 years, he's like, well, yeah, but how'd he die? He is nothing but bones. Nothing but bones at this point. He's literally been dead for 300 years. He's got like slime over him because he's been by the ocean, but he's like, well, yeah, but can I tell what killed him? 300 years. He's been dead 300 years. You cannot tell what happened to him. He has no marks left on his body. He's missing bone fragments. It's like, well, yeah, but was it because something killed him with it? So because of that, I sent the story to Dana. I actually started writing a portion of the history from 300 years ago because what they're going against is a fiend that I
Oh,
created. So I'm like, okay, you know what? She's been here for a very long time. Like, you know what? Fine. Because he did that, I'm like, now I have an idea for writing out some sort of freaking history for 300 years ago that I didn't have before. I'm like, fine, I'll take the inspiration, but damn it.
that's debatably, I've never been a DM. I've always been a player. But debatably being a DM for D&D is harder than writing just a book. Because it's like you just said, it's non-linear. You have this entire thing planned out, and then suddenly, whoops, let's
Yep.
go over here instead of over there. So,
It's
yeah.
always
I'll
the
remember
side
that.
quests.
So, but
Dana's
when do
like,
we meet again? September 20th?
yes.
Nice.
Dana's like, I'm going to make all of the side quests.
I'm gonna make so much problems for you.
I'm going to be sitting there. I'm going to be putting up posts going, okay. And then Dana died. Such a shame. Such a shame. She had a good life. Raywin should stop stabbing herself.
There's a
uh,
mysterious bug that landed on your arm and bit you, and oops, you're dead now.
to be fair, in the very first session, her character stabbed herself to death.
Oh, how'd you manage that? I don't know.
Not one.
Not one. And okay, just saying, in real life, if someone says that there is like a blood sucking bat on your shoulder, would your first reaction be, yes, let me take this dagger and stab it into myself? Like, most people would be like, ooh, I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably yank it off. Nope, not Dana. She's like, and even after I told him, like, I'm just saying, if you roll poorly on this, it could go bad and you're really low on health. And she's like, it's okay, I'll roll. Rolls, nat one. I'm like, okay,
Oh no.
roll the damage for what you just did to yourself. And she's like, I only had 2 points. I'm like, roll your damage. She rolls it, 2 points. I'm like, and she is currently unconscious because
Oh.
you watch this highborn elf stab herself in the shoulder, but the bat thing got away. It's
I
like
threw
that.
those dice away and got a new set.
Oh my
Grounded. We're never touching you ever again.
They're
Nice.
still at the bottom of the bag. I probably won't ever use them again.
Oh,
I
yeah, that's fair. Cursed dice.
right?
First
At that
dice.
point you're like, no, it's like Will Wheaton when he was on Critical Role and all he rolls are nat ones. Like
Oh,
you are our version of Will Wheaton that night.
yeah. Yeah, I only have, technically it's well, two sets of dice. But I have like my dad's old D&D dice from the 80s that are
Oh,
Oh,
so I added to them and I tried to match them so they're all purple and like just like the classic. I don't know where they are, so I wish I could show you, but they're like the standard dice, just
hmm.
purple, like marbled black and purple with gold.
Oh, yeah.
very nice.
We're dice goblins, so we like go around. Are there dice for sale here? I'll buy them.
Have you seen those really nice like resin ones that they'll put stuff in the middle? They're so
Y-
pretty, but they're so expensive.
yes, because so Dana and I, because we're the dice goblins, um, we bought a whole bunch of sets to begin with, and then we've been like collecting, curating for our collection. There's actually a Canadian dice mystery dice guy. So I liked it because obviously there's a whole bunch of them over in the States. Like in the States, you can get a bunch of them. They're like, hey, buy them. I'm like, there might be tariffs, so it might not be worth the cost. Whereas out of the blue, I got this Canadian dice maker. I'm like, ooh, and he does a mystery dice. I messaged Dana. I'm like, he does a one package where it's two for the price of like it's a fraction of the price. I'm like, would you be interested in going in with me? She's like,
Yeah.
yes, yes, I would. So we got our first one, and it's funny because you bring up the resin thing with the images like or things inside of it because the set that I gave to Dana is like, oh, these are definitely yours, has a little cat inside of it.
Oh, nice. Cute.
I was like, this is, yep, this is for the cat girl. So
Very
it
nice.
was meant to be.
Yeah. I have two
So,
cats myself, so
see, I was going to say cat people all over the place.
oh yeah. Are you more of a dog person?
I have my puppy out in the other room. I
Fair.
still collect all of it. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have my own cat, but I will also be the first one to be like, okay, I'm just going to play with the kitty over here. It's fine. It's good. Yep, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna be the one that dies out in the forest trying to pet like a
Mountain
bear cub.
lion.
Yep, I would in a heartbeat. Like their mountain lions look so cute.
If not friend, why friend shaped?
Yes. Thank you. See, you get it.
Yeah.
I, I'd be that first character in the book to die and be like, oh, you're friend shaped. The dragon is not friend shaped. The dragon's not friend shaped. The dragon's not friend shaped. It is friend shaped. Look at it. It's cute. It says pet me.
Yeah.
Doesn't its face look like it says pet me? Meanwhile, it's got scars all over its face. You're like, oh, it just needs a hug.
Yeah.
Excuse
So,
me.
how long do you think it will be before your next book is published? Do you
Uh,
Oh,
have any ideas?
question. Well, it took me 4 years for Eltaris, so I'm gonna give myself hopefully 2, maybe 3 years.
oh, you
I'm
want to kick
hoping
it up?
faster than Eltaris. And I'm hoping to do this author thing full time. So, knock on wood.
Touch wood, we'll do it for you.
So yeah, if I can do the whole author thing full time, I'm hoping for 2 years.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great.
Now, do you want to stay do you want to stay self-publishing or do you hope like I know for some people their hopes and dreams are that they want to have like that big name publisher and others are like, well, no, I just want to stay publishing my own so that you kind of have I know in a lot of cases if you self-publish, it's you get to have more say in what you're doing. Like you have more say over your own story compared to the bigger ones who are like, well, you know, if you add in these details or you add in this sudden love interest, and you're like, I wasn't going that direction.
Yeah, so for me, the ideal situation is where I have full say over what my story has. I get a bigger cut of the, the income from
Hmm.
the book. And I get into bookstores and I reach people within. the English speaking world globally, ideally. Fingers crossed. But yeah, when I was doing all the research on trad versus self-published, I never ended up querying trad or anything like that, just because the more and more research that I did, the more I realized trad was not what I wanted with
Hmm.
my, hopefully my career. Um, because like you just said, there are certain things that you write to market. And
Yep.
there's nothing wrong with that if you do want to write to market. And if your idea fits the market, awesome, go for it.
Right.
Um, but I, there's no romance in mine. And again, there's nothing wrong with romance. I just felt like Amaya's story, that wasn't going to be the focus. I wanted to tell a different part of her story. Um, and I had a feeling that as a woman writing a fantasy, trad potentially might push me towards that direction, which I
Oh,
really
without a
Yes.
doubt. Yeah.
want to do. So again, it's that saying the story that I want to tell and the story that I'm hoping reaches the right people. And because I've been a reader for so long, I did want to write something a little bit weird, a little bit different from the norm, because it was the story that I wanted to write, and I wrote it starting at the beginning. I wrote it for the little me that would, stare out at a window and imagine a world with dragons and
Hmm.
magic and all that kind of stuff. So I had fun with it, and to start with, I wasn't even sure if I was going to finish the story.
No?
Well, because there's so many barriers to it, right? Because you're like, oh, that whole imposter syndrome thing,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
with the first book,
Yeah.
is
Yes.
deeply ingrained in your head. So now that I've done the entire thing and I've done it self-published as well, going into the second story, I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing now. I'm not so like overwhelmed with all the different opinions of 1,000 different people as to what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do.
Hmm.
I know what I want, and I know that it works at least to some degree because it exists.
That's
So,
true. That's a really good way to look at it, though.
Yeah.
so yeah, I would like to stay as independent as possible, um, and still do it full time. If
Hmm.
The biggest challenge for me is marketing because I don't have a background in marketing, and I worked retail and things like that, but I never was on the marketing and like the back end of that.
Yeah.
So that has been a big learning curve for me post writing the book. So, trying to be active on socials, but then I'm also starting to try and get into like the physical real community
Yes.
because I know a lot of people aren't necessarily on Book Talk or on
Hmm.
bookish socials. Like myself as a reader, even though I've been a reader for so long, I never really was in those spaces that much. So I
Yep.
know there are people like the reader that I used to be that might not necessarily know about those communities. So I'm trying to show up like physically a little bit more and see how that goes. And so far, so good. So I'm hoping to kind of spread from there.
I mean, I think you're doing a really good job with it just because there's so many overwhelming options to be able to do marketing now because you have TikTok, you have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or what's it called? X. Um, what's it? There's that new one, Lemon 8 or something
Oh,
like that.
Lemonade,
Yep.
Blue Sky,
Yes.
Reels,
Oh, yeah.
Threads. Yeah, like there's
There's just so many of them. And especially for being an independent, it makes it more daunting when you're like, okay, yeah, when it's the big companies, they have a dedicated marketing team that they all go and take care of it. Whereas when it's by yourself, you're like, okay, you have to make that content day in, day out, have little quibs about it, go out and be creative all by yourself. And that to me is horrifyingly daunting. And I think that what you do, from what I've seen from your TikToks, is fantastic. Like I know I've reposted a couple of them because I'm like, okay, I just love, you keep it simple, but you get the information out there too. Like you still, I don't know, you still come across as being a tangible human compared to like the big names where they're like, oh yeah, here you go, here's my book, take it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you for this slop, sir. May I have some more?
Well, thank you for that feedback because honestly, I'm just kind of, I feel sometimes like I'm sending things out into the void without really knowing if it's
Yep.
working. So that's awesome to hear. I do try to keep it simple for myself because, like you just said, I'm only one person.
Mm-hmm.
And to some degree, trad authors still do need to do their own socials, but just not as much of it because for me, socials is marketing.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Right.
yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird in between where it's socials just to show up for social media, but it's also the marketing. So trying to not be super annoying, saying exactly what my book is for the thousandth time.
That's got to be the hard part. Like to me, it's when I see your videos and I see that they all like there might be things where they overlap, but for the most part, they're all something different. That boggles my mind because I'm like, even the big names, when you look at what they have, it's almost like they go copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Here you go. It's gonna say, yes, it's thrilling, it's exciting, it's an adventure, it's fantasy. And they're like, okay, what is it? It's thrilling, it's adventure, it's fantasy. And you're like, okay, but you have told me nothing new about the book. Whereas with yours, you show like different locations that it's at. I want to say you showed the what was it when you got into a different location and you're celebrating, and then there was when you got the ebook version of it, showing that off. And we haven't talked about it yet, but you did a Kickstarter fund or GoFundMe, whatever the one of those things titles
Go
to
kick me.
go kick me. Yes, a go kick me account. Um to get an audiobook made
Yeah.
of
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say of your book.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go as wide as possible with the ways that it's told as well, because I know there's, again, reader preference.
Hmm.
So part of what helps with social media marketing is letting people know things that develop over time instead of just giving only the book. Like, here's how it's also developing and how I'm also experiencing new things for the first time, like my first market, my first signing, things like that, which also gets people excited and like, oh, cool, that's
Hmm.
fun. Um, but yeah, the Kickstarter didn't quite work out, unfortunately, but
Mm,
it's a bit of a different challenge, and I think I was really excited, so I bit off a
yeah.
little bit more than I could chew. The challenge that I found with Kickstarter was that because all these large names are now using Kickstarter,
Yes.
people are expecting a lot more from a Kickstarter, which as an individual, it gets very challenging because they're kind of expecting you to already be making the thing that you're kickstarting for.
Yeah.
In which my case, I can't really start it yet because I need the Kickstarter to fund it. So
You're
um,
doing it like the original way that Kickstarter was meant to be, where you're like, well, Kickstarter started off as a we need this money to do this thing. And then the like the bigger names got into it and they're like, well, we already have some money, so we've started doing this. We just want some more to add in these cool features and fun things. And you're like, no, I'm the one below. I need the money to do the thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And also, marketing for a Kickstarter, I didn't realize until about halfway through, is very different than marketing just for a book.
Yeah.
Whoopsies. So, learning curve. This is the first time I do it, so I'm gonna make mistakes eventually. But I do
Hmm.
want to make an audiobook at some point, because I know that's a huge market, and
Oh
also
yeah.
for accessibility, I do want it as well. For people who maybe can't see very well or things like that, it might help them with focus. Or they might just not have enough time to sit down and read a book because honestly, yeah, it's hard to do that in the world that we live in right now.
Hmm.
Everything's go, 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 go. There's very little time. It's almost, I hate to say it, but in a way, it's kind of like a luxury to be able to sit down and have the time to read a book.
Oh, 100% agree. Like Dana is number one, retired, but number two, she's also a speed reader. So
Oh,
she can get through books so freaking fast. And my mom's the same way. Like she can speed read through things. So I'm like, guys, you both suck. Okay. I'm still on page one, you're on page six already. You suck. Whereas I love being able to, like, I do a combination of both where when I go to bed, sometimes I'll actually read for an hour or so and get to enjoy reading, but then like I have about a 45-minute drive into work. So I like being able to have like an audiobook, listen to it, know what chapter I left off, and come home and continue it afterwards. So I get the combination. And what I like about it too is that I'm also a Star Wars nerd specifically. So have you ever heard any of the like the Star Wars audiobooks before?
I haven't listened to the audiobooks or read the books, but I have watched the whole. I haven't watched all of the series, but the movies I've watched all of them, and I watched
Mm,
Clone Wars as well.
nice. Good. That's the best one to watch. So one of the things that I love about the audiobooks, but mind you, they have mucho budget to play around with, obviously. But one of the things that I love about it is because they make their audiobooks so immersive, because the guy will do different voices for different characters. They'll do the sound effects. So if there's a laser fight going on, like the blasters being shot, they'll have those kind of going off in the background. They'll have music come in sometimes. They'll have sound effects. And it's what I like about having the option of having the audio and having the book is that you get to be able to hear and become immersed in the world and then continue it. Like for me, it literally continues. I pick up the book and keep reading, and it's just I can hear the characters' voices in my head. I can hear, like in your case, like what the dragons would sound like that kind of stuff. So I love the fact that you want to do an audiobook for it.
Yeah, the dragon voices, now that you mention it, was definitely a question that I had because, like, I was think originally when I had launched the Kickstarter, I was thinking, okay, let's just do one voice for now with like them doing their voice acting thing and having fun
Hmm.
with different voices. Ideally, in a perfect world, I would have multiple voice actors for the dragons, but also for the different characters. Because
Hmm.
and as I'm writing it, they do have different voices, which I tried to describe as well as possible. Like one's like a crackling fire, one's more of a sweet honey kind of voice.
Hmm.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
That makes me feel so happy knowing that I'm not the only one who's crazy and can literally hear the characters' voices while I'm writing things.
Don't worry, I'm right there with you.
Thank God. Because there's some people I can remember years ago when I was just starting to get into like role playing stuff because I play video games. And I had a group of friends where we would like role play out characters, and it's like in my head, I can hear a distinctly different voice for each character that I would be playing. Whereas like, well, yeah, like this one has like that proper British sound. Like in my head, I can hear her, she's got the proper crisp voice to it. The other one's more gruff and is like, yeah, they're sisters, yet you can tell they're very different kind of thing. Others were like, you hear voices in your head? I'm like, okay. That sounds bad when you say it like that. Like,
No, we
there is
call
a
it
purpose.
hallucination.
It's like they exist in here, okay?
Yeah.
So it makes
I
me
do
so
I
happy.
do I do the same thing when I read.
Oh
I
God,
have
yeah.
my characters, like the characters that I'm reading, I'll hear them talking and it's different voices. Like I
Yeah.
think I think the best one was when I read The Stand, because there's so many characters in The Stand. I had all these voices in my head. And I was so disappointed the first time that they made it into that I think it was the TV movie or the TV series, one
Yes.
with Gary Sinise and Molly Ringwald. Totally not the people I ever thought would play the characters that I had built in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
one thing that I've always loved about books in general as like a storytelling medium, because versus like movies or TV,
Hmm.
because you can make it customized to your own head and your own experiences and your own ideas and things like that. So like you just said, one character when you're reading the book is something entirely different than what they decided to do for the TV or the movie adaptation for it. it's visual storytelling. So in that way, it's restrictive versus a
Mhm.
book or in any of its forms, ebook, paperback, audiobook. Well, maybe audiobook a little bit less because you hear the voices, but it's left up mostly to your imagination. So it can
Yeah.
literally be whatever you want it to be within the description.
Well, and I think that tends to be one of the problems. Like, did you ever read the Sookie Stackhouse series? It was turned into the TV show True Blood.
Yeah, I never read the books, but I did watch the TV show.
So so drastically different in all aspects of it, right down to even character descriptions. And it's one of the things, like, as a book reader, I absolutely love books because you get to be immersed into those universes. And then movies and TV ruins it because then they'll grab things and it's never made sense to me at all. When you have props and prosthetics and everything to make them look like what they're being described as in the book, and they go completely opposite to what they are, I'm like, look, I can literally read you the description of the character, and you went the opposite of everything. It says blonde here, you went jet black hair. Blue eyes, you went with black eyes. Like, why did you change it? Like, this is no longer the same character, and it drives me insane. So there's a lot of times where I will avoid watching certain things because I'm like, it's not gonna look like what it's supposed to be in here, and it's not gonna match the book. At least when you have the audiobook, it's you don't have that change in what they look like, you just get to have a voice to them. And sometimes you get kind of like the characteristics in the voice when you have the different voice actors, or you have the person who's actually able to do the different voices, where you're like, "Oh, that one has an inflection at the end of their sentence," or, "Hey, they kinda go, like, in a deeper tone for this." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I like how that goes."
Yeah, I mean, the book is always better, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, always.
Yeah. Well,
100% agreed.
I remember the first time I really felt that, like, oh no, what did they do to my, like, one of my favorite stories was with Aragon, actually. Because that original trilogy I read as a little kid, and I
Mhm,
loved the inheritance cycle with a
mhm,
passion as a small child. And then they decided there was like news that oh, we're going to make it a movie.
mhm.
And I was so excited, and I went to the theater to watch it with like all the highest of hopes. And then I ran into like, oh, this character is different. This
Uh-huh.
interaction is different. This like relationship is different. The dragons don't quite look what I thought that they were going to look like. And my little child heart was like shattered.
Shattered.
Okay, that doesn't exist. The movie doesn't exist. We're not like, just read the books again.
Yeah, this is not canon. Throw it
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
This doesn't count. We're gonna throw it in the bottom of the lake.
Pretty
Loch
much.
Ness monster. Nessie can have it and eat it, and
Yeah.
we're never gonna see it again. It's never gonna hurt us again.
Yeah.
I completely understand that because I saw the movie when I was a kid, and then I read the book more recently and rewatched the movie and just sat there. It was like,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
I was like, no, 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 no. Like, you want to take the squirt bottle out and go, what were you thinking? No, don't do that.
I had the same reaction as like I can't quite remember exactly how old I was, but like probably around 8 or so. And just little kid me in the theater was like, no, wait, hold on. This is entirely incorrect. What have you done?
You're just sitting there, you're yelling at your seat. That's not how it happened in the movie. You're in the book. What the
Yeah,
hell?
pretty much, but internally screaming.
Yes, exactly. For me, it's more of a becomes an external. I'm like, I can feel my eye twitching. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah.
Uh, so I do have
So,
one question though. What does it feel like? Because obviously, I asked you earlier about how it feels to actually be a legit author now. You're 100%. You don't have to have that imposter syndrome now. You've done it, and you've done the book signings. What does it feel like now actually seeing your your book published? Like walking into a store and literally being able to turn and go, "That I wrote that. That's me. I did that."
It's It's such a difficult feeling to explain because it's so surreal. Because it's something like I've said 1,000 times now, I'm a nerd through and through. I've been reading since I was such a small child. Like I literally cannot remember the first book that I read,
Yep.
but I know I was teeny tiny. Like myself, I mean, not my parents. Um, but it gives me the biggest smile because I walk in, I'm like, okay, it should be around here. Let's look at the alphabet. Oh, there I am. There I am. Yes. People have bought my book and I didn't even have to like, especially in this location that I just went to yesterday.
Mhm.
The book's been selling without really me being there, and I don't know if it's because of the like maybe people just don't know who I am and they like the cover and they pick it up, or maybe they saw my marketing, whether it's TikTok or Blue Sky, or maybe they just I don't know. Maybe someone from the store has been like, "Hey, have you read this yet? If you like fantasy." So somehow it's just moving without me really physically being there because I've
Mhm.
done retail. So like, what do you mean? People are buying my book without someone going there and saying, "Hey, buy this one." So it's really cool and it's surreal, and I don't think it's entirely sunken in yet. It kind of did when I was doing the signing, but still, I don't think the ball has dropped entirely. Because it's lived online for so long, and I
Mhm.
haven't really had an in-person interaction of someone who's read my book and like, oh, I love this part of it. Like I've had that online for sure, which is really validating and really cool. But there's something it just feels different when you just kind of come across someone in the wilds and they're like, oh, are you this person who has written this book? I really liked it. Or hopefully they say that and not I hated it.
Yeah, what we were like, ooh, or it could be bad. Nope, it's not going to be bad. It's going to be nothing but goodness. That's it. We've decided.
Reviews.
Yeah, exactly. All thumbs up.
Yeah, it feels really good, but really surreal in the best way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So is
Dana.
your Kickstarter over now?
It is, yeah. So it finished on the 27th.
So
Uh,
how, like, do they have a time limit?
yeah, so
Um,
Kickstarter, it's they say that you should do 30 days. I did 40 just to give myself a little bit more time, but they said 30 to kind of bring immediacy to it, like do it now, 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 which I understand. But again, I kind of bit off a little bit more than I could chew. So I was like, oh, the idea of doing an entire Kickstarter in 30 days feels a little bit like, ah.
Yeah.
So I decided to do 30, sorry, 40. We didn't quite get there, but that's okay. Next time. Or in some other way, I don't know. Some way, shape, or form, there's going to be an audiobook for Eltaris because I love audiobooks. And yeah.
Yes. How much, like, so out of just sheer curiosity, how much does it cost or how much will it cost, I guess, for you to get an audiobook made?
Yeah, it depends on the way that you do it. The way that I decided to do it was in hiring a voice actor. They're part of the Actors Guild.
Oh,
So
okay.
um, Maria McCann was the person who's going to do the audiobook.
Cost,
Yeah.
but it would also depend on like what name you would get. Because I mean, obviously, again, like the big companies that have endless amounts of money just to go can grab whoever the hell they want. And then other ones are like, yeah, we went with just some guy who just really loved the book.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to do it as well. And I know that some authors also use oh, what's it called? There's a way to do it where you split the royalties. So it's not upfront payment, but
Yep.
as people buy the audiobook, they get X amount of royalties. Yeah, which I'm not opposed to. I may end up going that way instead of just like blanket cost.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, there's pros and cons to both system. So we'll see.
Well, now we'll be crossing our fingers for you because I'm like, all right, I'm ready for an audiobook. I now need to go find the book.
Yeah,
yes, very much so.
thank you.
Dana, do you have any more questions to ask the wonderful woman?
Thank you.
Uh, no, because um, we got our socials, and
Uh-huh.
we'll keep our eye on you on there, and we'll make sure that we get your book out as much as we can on our socials and
Awesome. Thank you so
even
much.
our personal socials too.
Yep.
So
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like every little bit counts, especially when you're dealing with the internet void.
Mm-hmm.
yep,
People talking about it, the more people it reaches. So I really appreciate that.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Well, I think this brings us to an end of this interview. It was awesome having you. Part of me wanted to be a smartass and just call you Maria for a second. You can find Maria's books. Although her name might be spelled a little funny, it might actually be Marina, but it's fine.
My first interview. Oh yeah, Maria, but there's a silent R.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
So hopefully this helps get you like a few more people to nibble on the book line,
sure.
because I know I'm definitely going to be looking for it because it's
Yep.
something that's straight up my alley.
Awesome, thanks.
Same for Dana. Like we said, we're both nerds. We both love this kind of stuff.
Nerd unite.
Yes, exactly. We're everywhere.
Very bad finger control. I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
She's like nerds everywhere. It's the Spock, and Spock has united everyone. It's the new version of it. Live long
Norm
and
can do it.
prosper.
My husband can do it, so that's my part.
Okay, awesome.
It's fine. We have you in there somehow. So uh thank you for coming on. It was awesome getting to talk to you. Hopefully someday we get to meet you in the wilds, and we can
Yes.
talk about your book in person.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on, and thank you for the opportunity. This is my first in-person, well, face-to-face interview, and it's a blast. So yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you again.
All right, ciao
Have a good
everybody.
one.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.